More isn't always better. Think about it. We, as working wedding DJs, as event professionals, always try to come up with solutions that help people. That's what it's all about. But more isn't always better. And if you're a DJ that offers really complicated pricing structure or overloaded packages, I want to share with you the secret that's limiting you from crushing it in the future. And that is, more doesn't always mean better. More sometimes makes things confusing, and more can actually hurt you from closing opportunities that would easily land with you with less things to kind of think through. And think about this. If you have packages or you have services that are super complex and there's multiple options for multiple or similar like services, I feel that you are doing yourself and your company a disservice by making things too complicated. I think it's super important to stick to the formula, to keep things clear, to keep things concise, and not to overwhelm anyone. Because if you are overwhelming someone that is planning a very, very complex celebration like a wedding celebration, and you're overwhelming them with decisions, you're overwhelming them with options, and you're not taking the time to refine, to fine tune, to limit kind of what they're looking through, honestly, you're increasing the opportunity for them to potentially ghost you or to go silent in the conversation. Why? Because it's too much to think through. And think about it. If you have to make a decision to invest in a very, very crucial and important part of anything in your life, you're going to do your homework. You're going to do some research. You're going to check out social media. You're going to read reviews. You're going to figure out kind of what you want. Think about talking to someone that you actually connect with and you vibe with and you feel comfortable talking to and you think could be a great fit. And then you get to the point of the conversation where you're talking about dollars and cents and you're talking about all these different services and you're talking about multiple options that almost like crush the conversation, and not in a good way crush. I mean, crush it with like information overload. If you're someone watching this and you're offering packages, you probably have 3 different packages to choose from. That's like what the formula says everyone should do. Something that's simple, something that's in the middle, that's just probably the most popular thing, and something that's overwhelming. I still think if you're offering packages, you can add add-ons to that for unique services or services that have to be priced out specifically for a location or that is talent specific, or that could have some variables in terms of like pricing. I think that's something that's doable. If you're someone that offers a la carte pricing like us, we try to like structure our conversation and the narrative when we're talking to couples to not give them everything, because I feel like when you start looking at everything, it can be very, very overwhelming. So how do we like narrow it down? Well, simple. We talked about this. This is kind of what we're thinking. I think this would be a great complement to your day based on your vibe, your energy level. And I kind of like almost like isolate the services that actually add value, benefit, or are in line with the conversation or the couple's vision. And that's how I do it. I might have a list of a ton of different stuff, but I really put focus or emphasis into the things that will be or could be used by that couple at that celebration, and that narrows down the options. The key here is narrowing things down. You can have an expansive portfolio. You can have a ton of different options. You can have a ton of different price points for a ton of different services in the same category. The idea here is not to overwhelm people. So if you're a DJ struggling with closing, you're a DJ struggling with ghosting, you're a DJ that's struggling with like landing opportunities that you feel are a surefire win for you and your business, chances are it's because you're talking about way too much. The conversation is way too wide for them to absorb and to understand and to feel comfortable to move forward. And that's regardless of how you connect with them on a personal level. I think people do business with who they like, people do business with who they feel comfortable with, and people do business with who they can understand. This conversation is about the understanding. So the point here is don't overwhelm your conversations when you're talking to someone that's potentially thinking of you, hiring your business for their upcoming celebration by overloading or overwhelming them with information. Try to narrow the information down to give them a few options for consideration and try to guide them from there as an expert, as someone that's knowledgeable, as someone who cares. And I feel like the opportunity of them stepping out on the conversation, the opportunity of them ghosting on the conversation will certainly decrease more than you know. Anyway, my name is Jason. Want to hear from you. Do you agree with me, disagree with me? What do you do to not overwhelm your couples that are considering you for their special day? Throw it in the comments underneath this video. Be on the lookout for more content coming right here to this channel in the days, weeks, and months ahead. Thanks for watching.